What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here with the crew. Oh, Jesus. Uncle T, Allie, Snyder, and yes, last but not least.
That's awesome.
Oh, take them off.
Yeah. Allie, tell your lady friends not to watch this show. The sex appeal has gone up since we started this show.
Well, it depends who you ask. So did we just like rip the sleeves off that shirt? Like, how did this happen?
I mean, you asked me for a sleeveless shirt. I mean, you asked for the trashiest one. There's holes in it too. I mean, it's looking great. So
you look like Kurt right now.
This shirt. When you have Uncle T knows this, you know it's with age Uncle T. What?
That's a compliment.
Yeah. Listen, when you get age Uncle T, right? When you have T-shirts that have holes in it, you know that it's gone through a lot. So a good whole T-shirt is always good to have in the repertoire.
Hey, look, I appreciate what you're doing right now, but for her to refer to you looking like Kurt, I mean, I'm not knocking on Mangone because I would never do it, but Kurt is ripped. Was there anything that came out of our RPS party other than Kurt is ripped?
Yeah, Kurt is Kurt.
I mean,
Kurt's
him and JJ real close. Side by side.
Uncle T settled the flip down.
Kurt was told from Big T while playing hoops, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane, and Kurt response was, still looks like Tarzan. With a kiss. So I take it as a compliment. If I look like Kurt, I'm in good company.
Yeah, Kurt's definitely a compliment. So
I'm pretty sure Kurt's watching right now because he texted me for the link. So
let's go, Kurt.
Keep doing what you're doing, Mangone. And the mustache. When did we make that change?
Just yesterday we decided why not do a mustache for a little bit. Who knows how long it'll last, but figured why not. The people need it. So
the bandana, like it's not even on. It's like half on. Like it's like in the middle. It's like a headband. You're wearing a bandana as a headband.
Yeah, I grabbed it quick. I didn't get to adjust myself. Maybe I can step off the camera shortly and fix it a little.
Mangone, does Bagel Girl approve?
I haven't seen her yet, so maybe I'll go tomorrow for a nice bagel.
I haven't heard about Bagel Girl in like 3 weeks. So
yeah, because we're playing the long game, Allie. I mean, I've been there. We've had some quick conversation, but no, we haven't pushed the needle yet. You know,
yeah, planting the seed, Travis.
Yeah, we're just getting the water wet. You know what I'm saying? It's a
you
long
show up
play.
to the bagel shop with that mustache, she might quit on the spot.
I haven't shown up with it yet, but tomorrow, that sounds like a great idea. That's something I'm interested in now.
I mean, let's get the elephant out of the room here while we're talking about mustaches. I mean, Allie pretty much ditched on Uncle T and Mangone now that Mangone's got a world-class mustache tonight. And no one appreciates – Allie, this is your time where you wait and listen to me. Mangone, nobody appreciates a good mustache like Uncle T, but, man, Allie in the chat yesterday just ragging on people with mustaches, and I took offense to it.
My number one goal in life is to – rag on Mangone, and I just completely forgot in the moment that you had a mustache, and I realized it after, and I was like, now I can't go back.
I mean, I had just seen you a week ago, Allie. I realized that was a long time ago, so but I will accept your apology if you're given one.
I am. So
Uncle T, her true colors come out sometimes. You know what I mean? And that's just what happened there. So I'm sorry to see that happened to you. This is why, again, Allie wants to be Uncle T's favorite, and one guy's got a mustache who is the favorite, and Allie Mack is still trying to get there. So you got some catching up to do, Allie Mack.
Could you imagine having a drink out of a bottle with a straw in it?
I'm wearing lipstick, okay?
Chapstick or lipstick?
Okay.
Lipstick.
All right. So last week was tournament match play, which was a little confusing to some of the members on this show. I won't name any names. We'll keep that stuff secretive. But change is not good for a lot of us. And last week's tournament structure, I couldn't even understand at any level. So either way, I'm glad that we're on to a new tournament, which is a normal structure, the Valero Open. Snyder, somebody who I can always rely on these shows, unlike some of the counterparts. The course rundown here, what we're looking at, and real quick, because I do see a favorable name in the field here. How much H2O is at this course, Snyder?
Not too much. I think there's only 3 holes with water in play, so your old pal Gary Waterland's going to have to really try and find that water this week. So we'll see. I'm not going to play him this week, so hopefully he does find plenty of that water. So you want the rest of the rundown?
Yeah. Feel free. He's like, you want me to do my job? Or yeah, feel free.
For sure. TPC San Antonio is where we're at this week. Par 72 is going to measure just over 7,400 yards. The greens are going to play a little slower than normal here. They're going to be larger greens than average too, around 6,400 square feet. It's tough to find the fairway off the tee here, which is but the rough isn't that terrible, but the tree line fairways can present some problems for you. The Bermuda grass greens are going to be overseeded with POA right now. It's going to be one of the toughest, not necessarily very tough. I think it's going to play tougher. They usually try and mimic Augusta in a few areas to try and give some of these golfers a little preparement for next week. 3 of the 4 par 5s are going to play 590 or longer, so a long iron's going to be needed here. 3 of the 4 par 3s are going to play over 200 yards as well. So the majority of the iron shots are going to be coming from like 150, 175, and 200 plus. So long irons play is going to be needed. Some of the key stats I'll be looking at: stroke gain approach off the tee, fairways gained, bogey avoidance, and opportunities gained.
Love it. Thank you, Snyder, as always. Good work. Allie approves. So let's move over to DFS. Allie, we'll start with you. Feel free to fire away with any plays you like on the DFS end.
It's funny that you start with me because normally I don't do the DFS, but this week I have some DFS picks.
Yeah, that was
my pen
that was an egg on my face, I guess. Either way, yeah, feel free to fire.
All right, so I'm going to start off with Maverick Mcnealy for 9,500. He's made 17 of his last 18 putts, improved off the tee game, which should come in handy this week. Finished 7th at the Genesis. Nearly won his pod last week. He was the only golfer to go 2-0-1 and not make it out of his pod. So I like him this week for the DFS side. Value, I like Nick Taylor, 7,300. Consistent, making 9 out of his last 10 cuts. Finished 33rd or better in 6 of his last 8 events. He made 4 of 5 cuts at this event before, and he's got really good odds to win here at 65-1.
Wow, that was somebody who doesn't usually come here with DFS information. That wasn't bad. I mean, Mangone, that's a tough act to follow. Yeah, what do you have?
I mean, no one has ever walked in with this kind of mustache and been like, that man has no confidence. He can't follow that act. I can follow that act pretty easily. Can follow up by saying Abe Answer is my favorite DFS option at the top. I do think he's going to be lower owned compared to some of the other studs. Again, we talk about it a lot. Ownership is not something I care that much about in golf, but when you get some studs that are lower, like if one guy's 25% and another guy's like maybe 12%, which I think Answer is going to come in that low teens area. So I really like Abraham Answer. This is his second shot course. Also played in Texas as well. There are some signs there's going to be a little bit of wind. He played some college golf in Oklahoma, which, hey, that's where you got to be able to, play in those tough wind conditions. So I'm in on Abraham Answer. Texas is a spot where I think he gets the job done. And that's going to be my guy at the top. My guy at the bottom, my really, really cheap guy, my value one, I think it's going to be Adam Svensson, another good ball striker kind of guy. Also, I think that he is someone that is over the next year or so, you're going to see his price go up and up. And I like to buy low on those guys. And I've been buying low on Adam Svensson for a while. I'm definitely in on him. So he's going to be my cheap guy that I go to in the 6K range to allow me to kind of build out the rest of my teams.
Svensson with 2 S's in the middle. Quick, before we slide over to you, Uncle T, what are your thoughts on Kurt's comment here? Is Uncle T muted?
Donkey move. Come on, Uncle T.
Well, I had to cough, so you'll understand why I was on mute. I've got the under for maximum amount. Max bet on under to answer Kirk.
Leave it to Kurt.
Allie, what's your I'd like to get Allie's take on this.
All right, Snyder, I guess you have to wait. Uncle T.
I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah, let's go, Allie. There you go.
Snyder,
Uncle, can I get a loan?
You wouldn't be asking me for a loan, Snyder. Yeah. So Mangone, I'd love to have faith in you here, but unless you hit up like a brothel last night, I'd probably say the under as well. It's good that Kurt's got your back though.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Kirk, I see you, right? Really good looking guys see other really looking guys. I understand you, you understand me, but it's the under. I'm sorry. I did not hit a brothel last night, but who knows? We'll have to see. I mean, I have some plans opening up in the next couple of weeks because Allie, I haven't responded to her and she's already kicked me off the Rockies trip. So maybe on next Saturday night, I'll hit up the brothel.
I didn't kick you off. I just haven't gotten an answer yet. Same with DC. DC is putting UFC over me at this point, it seems like. So
I mean, it's a good card, I will say. Which check out Keg's videos that he does for it on the Run Pure Sports channel because it's a really good card. So I see what DC's thinking.
And Mangone, I do agree with you. Game knows game. Kurt and you definitely is like the two Spider-Mans looking at each other. So respect. Uncle T, DFS. Who do you like this week?
Yeah, I have to. I'm usually honest. I tell you guys what I think. Allie took my play. Mav McNealy. I really like Mav. 9,500. But if you listen to the what was it? I get them confused now, Snyder. It was last week the Pin Seekers, or is that I'm on both shows sometimes. Whatever the show was last night, Snyder and I and AP did. I do like Mav McNealy, but listen up here. Gary Waterland. I really like him in the 9,300. Not much water, JJ. So I like Gary Waterland, 9,300. If you go down the board a little bit, not sure how far down you want to go. I like Robert McIntyre at 7,900 from a DFS standpoint. So I'll go with those two. I'll go Gary Woodland up top, and I'll go Robert McIntyre down towards the under 8K.
Snyder, before I get to you, Mangone, your boy, Bob, what do you feel about Uncle T playing him here? He was 40. Was he 40 to 1 to win this thing? I mean, what is this dude's got to be like a DFS lock? He was like a few weeks ago, the dude was like 200 to 1 to win a tournament. Now he's 40. I mean, what am I missing?
I mean, Bobby McIntyre is a good golfer, so that's why. I'm definitely in on Bobby McIntyre. Snyder, this is a good question for you. Is he playing to try and get into the Masters?
Yes, I'll answer it.
I believe so.
What place does he have to get? Is there a certain place he needs? Like, is it first for sure? Or is
there's like 119 guys playing to get into the Masters this week.
Well, okay, but sometimes it's different. Sometimes you can, if you top 15, you get in and stuff like that to different events. That's why I asked, because he had a top 15 opportunity in one of them, so that's why I was wondering. But I like Bobby McIntyre. The price is not bad. He's a good cheap option, and cheap options are kind of tough this week. So I'm definitely on board with it because it's definitely not the easiest week for the cheap ones. And like with people looking at the Masters, right? Like Rory, let's say Rory is at I don't know, he's got like an early tee time on Sunday. There's a chance he might just WD or not even care. Like some of these guys are not going to try and get up to the top who are focused way more on the Masters. They might just punt this event off or try some new stuff out. Like there's definitely that as a possibility going into Sunday.
Okay, Travis. Okay, bringing the heat. Okay.
Robert McIntyre is in the field for the Masters.
He is in the field?
He's 7K next week.
Well,
Uncle, you said
that deserves a boot. Uncle T sounded so confident. I mean, what the hell was I missing? Any defense for you, Terry?
No, I'm going to ignore you. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down right now, what you just did. I'm writing it down.
HR is going to hear about it.
The amount of times Uncle T sends that GIF in the group, you made the list.
Yep. You just made the list.
Apparently, I'm now on the list. Snyder, DFS. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a guy that I really like this week, Kevin Strilldaddy, as we call him in the RPS streets. Kevin Strillman. He's really good at finding the fairways. Allie like that one.
You're probably the only person that calls him that, but
incorrect.
That's incorrect. We call him Strilldaddy around here, Allie Max. So does Uncle T. So
Allie, it's Kevin Strilldaddy.
Snyder's like,
maybe Allie needs a boot.
Incorrect.
Love it. Yeah, but I like him this week. He's coming off a 7th at the Valspar. A couple of other top 25s his last 4 events. He's got back-to-back top 8s here in this event, 6th and 8th in his last 2 trips here. So I really like him coming into this event for a really good price tag too. He's under 9K, so I really like that. And going down into the 7K range for like a value guy, I really like KH Lee this week. Anytime we got a TPC course, I'm gonna play KH Lee. Love him. 23rd and 14th in his 2 trips here. He's a pretty big favorite over Højgaard too. Almost near money against Patton Kazire in the betting markets too. pretty nice price for him at his betting range of 55-1. So I really like KH Lee down there in the values.
Very good, Snyder. We'll just stick with you for your outrights. Who do you think has either the most value to win this tournament on the top level, or just who do you think wins this tournament in general?
I'm going to go with, I kind of like Connors. I could say some of those guys. I'm going to go down a little bit and go with Patton Kizzire here. I think he's rounding into form. Really good value option. It was 10th at the Waste Management. 5 of his last 7 events has been 33rd and better. It's kind of a little watered down event here. So I really like Patton Kizzire at 55-1 here. And if I was going to take a long shot on someone, I might even, throw 10 or 20 bucks on David Lipsky down there at 140-1. I like him for a long shot. He's been playing really well as of late. I've been on him. He's kind of Monday qualified for a few events. So I'm going to take a stab on Lipsky. He finished 7th in his last event. He had a 26th in there too as of late. So I like him for a long shot.
I'm not sure if you guys understand the show's format. Clearly Snyder doesn't. So Snyder will see in 30 seconds. The whole part of the show is who do you think wins the tournament? We do a section with long shots and, longer, bigger odds. First of all, he gives the guy that's 55-1 who's going to win the tournament. And yeah, it might happen, but I don't understand. I don't think he even understood the question. So welcome back, Snyder, and keep up the good work.
55-1's a steal. He should be 10-1.
Uncle T, yeah. Uncle T, since I guess we changed the format of the show now.
Real quick. Can I snap call Snyder? I'll give you 100 to win 1,000. The 10-1. I'll just do it right now if you'd like. You said that's what he should be. So
I'm already good. I'm already locked in at 55-1.
But you said he should be the other one. You're just trying to get some odds. No. Okay, we tried.
Typical Snyder.
Yeah.
The old Homer Simpson back in the weeds.
It's just like if you were going to go place a bet on Scott Stallings, are you going to place a bet on him at DraftKings at 130-1, or are you just going to go over to FanDuel and play him at 65-1?
Snyder, no one said that he was 10-1. It was you. I'm just using your words, okay? Not mine. That's all.
It's called line shopping, Mangone.
The second boot actually requires a little more assertiveness. So Snyder, you have a little room to play with here, but don't be crazy. I will boot you a second time. Same goes for you, Uncle Terry. So since the show format's completely changed now, feel free to give your outright and your long shot in the same grouping, Uncle T.
All right. So I am going to go. Last night I went on the show with Woodland, and the reason I'm giving you 2, though, JJ, is because for people that watch both shows, I don't want them to think I'm wavering. I didn't take Maverick Mcnealy last night because Snyder did. So I do have an outright right now on Maverick Mcnealy, but I do. It's my turn, and I'm going to go with Gary Woodland tonight. So I've got outrights on both of those guys, or we'll have outrights later tonight on both of those guys. So 35-1 and 30-1. I know that's 2, JJ, but I had to give a little caveat there as to why I gave you 2. And then if you go down the board a little bit, I really like this guy, Brian Stewart, 130-1, all the way down there. Snyder, where's he at? 70-something?
7,200.
7,200 on DK, but he's 130-1. I kind of like him, JJ, this week as a long shot.
Make sure you get him on DraftKings, though, because he's 100-1 on FanDuel.
Awesome. Travis, we go in reverse order, and it lands on you, the pendulum. So outright and long shot, or however you want to answer the question, fire away.
So we're going to keep it simple. We're going to go with, I talked about him before, Abe Answer at 22-1. That's going to be one of my guys that I'm betting. I like him. You always know I like that 20 to 40-1 range to live in. I think Answer is my favorite golfer this week if price doesn't matter. So I'm going to go with Abe Answer. And then let me find his odds because there's another golfer that I like. He's definitely down here a bit. There it is. Get him to 100-1. So again, I know Uncle T, like you like to make fun of me and say I float around that 50-1 range. No, this is a 100-1 golfer. It's Party Marty Laird. Like him a lot this week. He's got some comps to some other courses that have played really well. He's done well here as well, and he's been playing some pretty good golf. So I think Marty Laird is another one that I'm definitely playing in DFS, and I like him as a long shot to win as well.
The Party nickname, did you just give him that nickname, or is that actually his nickname?
That's his nickname.
Yep. We can go. Yep. Uncle T agrees. I'm sure Snyder can let you know. I don't know if he has some nickname that has to do with layered rough or some greens, but yeah, Party Marty Laird. He probably doesn't hang out in the layered rough or the salted greens.
Allie Mack, you're outright in your long shot.
All right. Well, I had Maverick McNealy as my outright, but since that's been mentioned quite a few times, I'm going to go with Chris Kirk, 25-1, 3 top 15 finishes over his last 4 events. He's had 3 top 15 finishes as well at this event over his last 5 trips here. He's top 10 in ball striking and tee to green. He's 11th off the tee in his last 24 rounds. So I like Chris Kirk, but as for my long shot, I'm going to go with Kevin Streelman, aka Kevin Streel Daddy, 65-1. I have him.
Welcome to the team. Calling him Streel Daddy.
Nailed it.
I mean, he's like the 12th highest priced golfer. How is he a long shot?
65-1 for outright.
I can't correct it. I apologize.
Last week I got corrected. A long shot is 50-1, and I go 65-1. Now I'm getting
70 this week.
Uncle T's on thin ice again. Uncle T,
all right.
Uncle T's on thin ice again.
Uncle T, you better watch out. Allie's hands are flying right now. You might get a quick back across.
I felt her wrath yesterday. I don't want to feel it again today.
Listen, can I explain why I like Kevin Streel Daddy?
Yes. Fire away.
I have him to finish in the top 20 as well, but I like him as outright. 2018, 2019, he finished within the top 8 at this event. He's 10th off the tee, 7th in bogey avoidance, top 5 in fairways gained off the tee. So I feel confident in Streel Daddy this week.
Awesome. Love the facts. She goes from no one calls him Streel Daddy to all she did was refer to him as that entire segment. So Jordan Elmore is on pace with me as well. We do not tolerate Snyder slander, so appreciate you as always. Keep the good vibes going. Allie, we'll slide to you now for T20s. So do you have anyone in particular you like in the T20s?
Yeah, I like Corey Connors here. He had a heck of a run this past weekend at the Dell Match Play, coming in 3rd. And a T11 finish at the API. He hung around quite a stacked field at both of these events, played fairly decent at the Players as well with a T26 finish. As for this week, field is not as stacked. Perfect opportunity for him to build on that momentum from last week. His average finish at this event also is 14th, so I can see a top 20 finish here for Corey Connors.
Very good. Mangone, that means it's your turn. T20. What do you got?
All right, T20. I had T10 up, so that's my bad. Let me pull it up to the other one.
When do we ever do T10s?
We'll just skip him. We'll just go ahead.
Love to see it.
Uncle T, that means it goes to you. Who do you like for your T20s?
I'm ready, JJ. When you call on me, I'm ready. You know, it's like when I'm on the bench and you need a pinch hitter for the pitcher in the 8th with 2 on and 2 out. I'm ready to go, buddy. I am going with, you guys ready? Doug Gim plus 300 to top 20 this week. He is rested since his T6 at the Players, and I think he piggybacks that confidence at the Players, and a T20 at plus 300 I think is a great number this week.
Love it. Snyder, T20. Who do you like?
I could go with my guy Cage Lee, but I'm going to go right under him. I'm going to go with Brendan Steele. Plus 350 for Brendan Steele. I like his recent form here, top 26, and then a 13th in his last 2 appearances. Pretty good course history here. He's got a 13th and a 30th and a couple other made cuts in there. He's only plus 102 against my guy Kevin Streel Daddy, so I like Brendan Steele here for a top 20.
All right, Mangone. Hit us with that T10 that we go over every week.
Oh, nice. The floor is mine. Dunkel, I won't slander you because I understand. I know not to slander the host. Allie Mack, question for you. Are you playing NBA DFS tonight?
No.
No, okay. Uncle T, are you playing NBA DFS tonight?
I didn't. What are you bringing me into it
Uncle
for?
T, I asked you a question. Answer. The floor is mine.
I do not have any NBA teams.
Okay. Thank you for answering, Uncle T. Snyder, are you playing NBA DFS?
Yeah, I fired some.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're managing your lineups, but it's a lot to handle right now, Snyder. There's news flying, so we just got to take care of some stuff. Okay.
I mean, we got the Saber Sim. We got all the news updates. It's pretty easy if you just stay on top of it.
You don't have all the news updates. You're wrong about that. Also, I was a little flustered. You guys, I don't know if you ever done this. You ever on DK? You sit there and you lock your guys into your lineups, right? So I had all these guys locked in. earlier, and I look at the DK page because I have so many tabs up. And it said I was locked into Monte Morris and Franz Wagner. And that was like a shell lineup from earlier in the day. So I was having a panic attack that I played 2 shitty plays and was readjusting everything to make sure I had the proper teams for the next lock time. But we're good now. It was actually an error, and I had too many tabs open, and it was an old one. So we can go back to what I was going to say with the T20. Snyder, you might be back in my good graces here because we're talking about Mito Pereira. He is plus 260. I like ball strikers here, second shot course. So I'm on Mito this week. I think he's a really good option, and I think the T20 is there for him. And I'm not betting him outright, but I wouldn't tell someone it's a bad idea. I think this could be an event that he actually wins finally on the tour.
So my favorite part of that segment was when Mangone was like, you all have no idea how complicated my life is. There's NBA news flying everywhere. How am I supposed to manage my lineups? And Snyder's like, I've been doing it. I'm over here doing okay.
Well, listen, we're not all Snyder. I mean, I'm not able to be as great as him. He has an Android phone too, so it must be way easier because he always talks about how elite an Android phone is compared to an iPhone.
I couldn't even fathom an individual.
There is nothing worse than getting a green text. There is literally not many things worse in life than getting that green text come through.
Yeah,
easy bet us.
You know what's worse? The worst is when you meet the person for the first time and you're like, man, like I just met this person. Like we really clicked. Like we might be best friends. And then the text comes in green. You're like, no, this friendship can't be it. It's
Mangone, serious question. When you talk to Bagel Girl and you eventually get her number, you got to real quick see if she's got an Android or an iPhone. That could be a deal breaker.
If she texts me and it's green, the first response back will be like, I don't know if this is going to work out. You have a green text Android phone. This is definitely a red flag. We're starting things off on a really bad foot. But sometimes you can get over that. And she'll at least get a good laugh out of it for sure.
Please fire away.
Okay. Big T just texted me a picture of Mangone, and it says the face of no workbench use.
You see, whether that's from Big T or her, we're not going to tolerate that type of slander.
Thank you. I'm here for the fans right now. I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing it for you guys.
Yeah, you can't. And then she makes up a story that Big T texted it to her. The whole thing. I'm not a fan. We don't tolerate slander for Snyder or Mangone on this show. At times, it's warranted for some of them, but not always.
It's literally him.
Allie, you're on your burner phone texting yourself. Get around here. That's ridiculous.
So Kurt is asking about Patrick Rogers because apparently they're Eskimo bros. Anybody have any detail here on Pat Rogers?
Who is who?
I don't mind Big Pat Rogers. I don't mind Pat Rod down there, but I'm not going to be down in that range very much. So for me, 6,600. If you have a build where you're going up top, which like Snyder and I said on the show last night, I think we're both pretty much going to fade the whole 10K range. I think if you're going up there, I think Patrick Rogers or even Peter Uihlein, it's an even 6K who's very underpriced on DK. Those would be the only builds I would go down that far.
See, at least Uncle T came prepared. Allie was like, I don't even know who the fuck Patrick Rogers is.
No, I'm just trying to think of the female that's Eskimo, that made them Eskimo bros. But
yeah, I don't know who Patrick Rogers is either, so it's plenty fun. So last but not least, I don't even know the order because so many people have been in timeout today. Allie, I guess we'll start with you. Matchups. Any matchup in particular you like?
Yeah, Jordan Spieth versus Corey Connors, both -110 on DK, but I'm going to take Corey Connors. Jordan Spieth's swing looked off last week, and Connors has elite history here. I know Spieth won last year, but he comes in with great form, 14th and 1st at this event, so we're going to take Corey Connors.
Yeah, anytime you're going to pick against Spieth, that's always going to be approved on this show, so keep up the good work there. Mangone, you've had an awful lot to say on this show today. Matchups, who do you like?
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty good. Streel Daddy looks like a good one against Denny McCarthy. I'm not high on Denny this week. And Streel Daddy's at -130, which again, I wish I get it a little bit closer to the number at like -110, but I just don't think Denny's in that great of a spot this week. So I'm going to go with Streel Daddy at -130 in the matchup here.
Leave it to Mangone to find the biggest favorite on the board and pick that. See?
I mean, it just these are guys I want to bet against. Typically in matchups, I look for guys I want to bet against rather than like there was one that I thought that was interesting that, and if my phone would load, it would be nice. But sometimes you have like golfers that you like against like another one that you might like, and that I think is a mistake people make a lot in matchups where like I'd rather just find a golfer that I'm not as high on and then try and find the ones that I really like. So I think targeting against Denny is a good call. And like kind of like what Ali's doing. Ali doesn't like Spieth a lot in the form that he's in, and doing it with Connors, I don't think is a bad way to approach it. That's at least how I prefer to target matchups.
Did you guys catch in the middle of the show Ali's just yawning as
I did.
talking?
As I'm talking about her golfers as well.
It's 7:30. It's 7:30 at night.
I mean, truth be told, it is past her bedtime, but that doesn't give her right to do it on this show.
7:30 in the evening, Uncle T. Like I figure a spring chicken like yourself's usually, up and at 'em at 4 a.m. You're still out here kicking.
6 a.m. every day.
Wow, that's 2 times.
It takes a lot for the second time, but if you're going to yawn when my friend Travis is speaking, that's not gonna cut it here.
Not just that. I was speaking about your golfers and you're yawning in my face. So, pay attention.
My face should be washed. I should be in bed picking my Netflix show by now.
All right, we'll do the Masters show next Wednesday at like noon Eastern. So make sure Allie's up.
Yeah, we'll do it right before the Good Morning America show. Snyder, who do you like here for matchups?
I'm gonna go with my guy Maverick Mcnealy. He's matched up against Gary Waterland. I'm not on Waterland this week, so I'm gonna be on my guy Mav here. He's right at -110, +100, depending on where you look. I'm gonna be on Mav over Mr. Waterland this week.
And he's also -120. Where do you have? Is FanDuel?
I'm looking at DraftKings, and then I'm looking at Big T's sheet. He's got DraftKings as well, and
okay.
Actually, Big T has +100 for DraftKings. I just seen -110. He's getting steamed up. I like Mav even more. I like him even more.
That's typical for Anthony Wayne. Uncle T, end us off with a bang here. Who's your favorite matchup?
Yeah, I won't give you a -130 or 140, JJ. I actually like Corey Connors with Allie over Jordan Spieth, so I won't take that one. I'm going down the board a little bit. Ian Poulter +100 over Troy Merritt. Ian Poulter +100 over Troy Merritt. I think Poulter, again, is in that list of guys that normally plays the Masters, probably won't win this week, but he does have a lot more motivation. So I'll go with Poulter +100 over Troy Merritt.
Poulter is 9th in the field around the green too, right? Right.
I didn't have that, Allie, but I'm going to mark that down. I did not have that.
Where does he struggle? Everywhere else?
Everywhere else.
So I guess,
Inside joke.
Good. I don't even know. Should I boot them both? So anyway, good show all around, folks. Some good content, a lot of average content, but overall, I hope viewers found it somewhat helpful. By the way, Kurt, Allie, you hurt Kurt's feelings, so feel free to slide in there and apologize.
He does that a lot, Kurt. Just so you know.
Between him and Uncle T, like they're both crying over something all the time.
I got feelings, Allie. I mean, just saying.
We're not all robots, we're emotional creatures.
I stay up past 7:30. I know that.
Uncle T, any final notes for the course?
No, not for the course, but next week, though. First off, Showdown, Snyder does a great job. I want to give Snyder a plug here because Snyder does a great job on the Showdown stuff. And now we've got the Showdown shows on rounds 2, 3, 4. He does a great job with a bunch of guys that come on for the weekend. And then obviously they'll be doing it going forward. But I want to give Snyder a plug because I give him shit all the time. But Snyder does a great job with our content week in, week out. So make sure you catch that.
Love it. That didn't you see that, guys? That didn't have to happen, and it did. Take some notes. Be positive about your team members. This isn't just a Shark Tank. Snyder, any final notes for you? And now I'll tell you this: if you start talking high about Uncle T, you're getting booted because it was clearly, planned to be that way. Floor is yours.
Now I do appreciate it. We're gonna have the next two shows on Thursday and Friday are on the Mayo Media Network. And then the Saturday show is private for the members only. Looking forward to just how this event leads into the Masters next week. Super pumped for the Masters next week. I know we're going to have a lot of stuff going on for that. Everything else is going on. We got MMA, everything else going. Looking forward to I'm only going to play a little lighter on this event, as I'm going to probably go a little heavier next week. So can't wait. Thanks a lot, Uncle T.
Awesome. Mangone. I mean, you look really disheveled. I don't know if it's the angle. You just look beaten down.
I don't know if it's the angle.
I feel great right now, Uncle Doug. I'm doing good. So I just got to get my NBA stuff buttoned up. But I do want to say that showdown show that Snyder does, it's great. I mean, it's something that you got to listen to every single week. Helps you out with your showdown picks. The Masters, the contests are going to be massive, so you don't want to miss out on that. And it's perfect timing. It's right around like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, just when you're tucking into bed, Allie Mac. You can do it as a nice little bedtime story before you go to bed. So be sure to listen to the showdown content. It's awesome over here at Run Page.
The showdown content was what I actually put on last night to fall. I listened to it, but then I fell asleep. I finished it in the morning, but it was like my go-to choice of show last night. So.
You love to see that.
Love to see it.
Allie, anything else final from you? You want to comment on Kurt's comment?
No, I texted Kurt. I apologized already, but
no, not that comment. There was one he added late there. You might want to check it.
Is it too soon to pick Tiger Woods to finish within the top 20 at the Masters next week? Or
love the diversion there of the actual.
Yeah, that was impressive. I was skated right around it. So Allie's a big Tiger fan. I guess real briefly before we end the show, any hopes for Tiger? I guess we'll talk about it, but any hopes for Tiger next week?
I hope hopes for him. I hope he plays. Sure, ratings are going to be through the roof if he does. They're good anyway for the Masters. He shows up, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope he plays.
I hope he plays as well, and I hope people play him on DraftKings.
All right. Love it, folks. Thank you. Obviously, everybody on here. Thank you to everyone in the live chat. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. As always, Uncle T, thumbs up. Gamble responsibly. Stay safe. And as always, run pure. We'll see you.